Good morning, guys. It is 10:30 U.S. Central Time on Thursday, which means that it's time for our live journaling session. So I'm just now getting set up. I'm a little bit early, and I'm going to give everybody just a few minutes to join us, and I'll go ahead and get the live link shared out like we always do, in case anybody wants to join us and they may not know that this is happening. So hi, Mindy. Glad you made it. And then I'll get started. We have a really fun spread today, and we're sort of taking a break from planning and productivity. And hi, Paula. Hi, Elizabeth. And we're going to get into a really fun rainbow self-care spread, just a day to really celebrate us and, you know, have a page that you can turn to when you need to infuse a little bit of positive energy into your life. So let me go ahead and get the link shared out. And while I'm doing that, why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves, tell me where you're from, tell me what your experience with journaling is, and that way you guys can kind of get to know each other too. So I'll get this link shared out for us. I was right on time today, and my app is working. So hopefully it sticks with us and we don't have any crashing today. I've been trying some different things with setting up these lives. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see who else. Hi, Elizabeth. Glad you made it. All right. We're getting there. I'm really excited about this spread. I have all my colored pens out, which always makes for a fun day. So I think you guys will enjoy it too. Today the weather here is really nice, and it's kind of calling to me. I sort of want to get outside. All right, just a couple more places, guys. I'm sorry. I have to do this once we're live. I can't really do it afterwards. So yeah, otherwise I would. But I always like these sessions. It's really fun to get to like meet other people who journal and, you know, hear what works for them. And I always like your guys' comments. I always think they're really helpful, and I learn a lot from them too. So I like doing this together. But all right, one more. I promise. I'm almost done. All right. Hi, Catherine. And if you guys have a friend that you want to invite to this, you can go ahead and tag them or share the video with them, and they can get their coffee and their journal, and they can join us too. So these are always a lot of fun when people come and they bring their ideas. And today's going to be more of an interactive spread, so you guys are going to get to help me kind of decide on color choices and words that we put into it, and it's sort of going to be a community self-care exercise, which I think is going to be a lot of fun, because that for me is one of my favorite aspects of journaling, is that not only is it a tool that I can use to plan my life, but it also gets to be sort of my fun space where I get to just play around with art and get to know myself a little bit better, which is, you know, that's something that I think all of us can use no matter what point of life we're in. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'll show you guys where I'm at in my journal. I'm going to do just a quick flip through for you, just so that if you guys are new to this, to any of my live videos, then I'd like you to know a little bit about me and how I journal. I think that's helpful context. And then I will show you guys kind of the rough sketch of what I've started for today's page, and then you guys are going to get to help me with some of that and designing it and coming up with fun words to put in it. So let's go ahead and pull you guys around so you can actually see my journal page, and we'll start. All right, so let me get this scooted over here. All right, oh sorry, just give you guys. All right. Can you guys see what I'm doing here? Let's see if I can get you a little better angle. How's that? That's probably a little bit straighter, huh? Okay, so you guys are kind of over my shoulder, so I can peek back and see the comments. So if you have a question, please go ahead and ask it at any time in the video. If I don't get to it during the video, I try to go back through afterwards and I read all the comments, and that way we can all talk about it. If you can answer someone else's question, please feel free to jump in and answer it for them. I'm always happy when people do that. If you have any questions about what I'm using, please ask, because even if I don't mention what I'm using in the video, you can ask me and I'll comment after the video is done and I'll let you know what it was that I was using. So, okay, so let's get started. So here's kind of a look at my journal. This year I'm using a Scribbles That Matter, and I put this fun decal that came from the Fresh Cuts bundle that some of my blogger friends put out, and I really love their bundles. So I cut that with my Cricut and I've decorated it. And so we're in January right now, and I'll just do a quick flip through for January. I'm not going to do everything. So here's my monthly page where I do a lot of my big picture planning. My January prompts for the 6-word story challenge, you guys, I'm so far behind. I haven't written a single 6-word story this month. And you guys have all been rocking it, so I have to catch up. And that's actually on my list of things to do this afternoon. I have some time set aside for myself just to write 6-word stories because I really miss them. I have a brainstorming page that I like to keep, and then I just kind of get into my regular scheduling pages. And I keep these very simple just because I like them to be very efficient. And then every now and then I'll feel creative and I'll add like a little sticker or you know, this one was a fun affirmations page that I made with some stickers that I had put up on the blog for printables, and I had another page in mind here that I'm still meaning to go back and finish, and I need to get that done. And then this is just this vertical Dutch door. We did this last week. We set it up on the live video, which actually somebody sent me an email and said, hey, this should not be called the vertical Dutch door. This should be called the saloon door because it's like those little half doors, right? I thought that was pretty clever. So I'm sort of going with the saloon door on that one. So, yeah. And then this is where we're at for this week. So I'm all caught up there. Right now we're on Thursday, if you guys can see this. We're on Thursday. We're doing our live video right now, and then I get to kind of move on with my to-do list. So I thought it would be fun to just take a break from the planning, and I wanted to do a really fun, colorful, creative, self-care focused page. And this, I was very inspired by a page that Archer and Olive did on Instagram, and it was like a 2018 dashboard. If you haven't seen Archer and Olive's Instagram account, you should definitely follow it. It's beautiful. A lot of really neat artwork. And they had a page that was like a rainbow 2018, and the 2018 was negative space, which I thought was really beautiful. So I took a lot of inspiration from that, and I thought it would be fun to bring that rainbow theme kind of into a self-care page. So that's sort of what we're going to do today. And I just sort of did like a rough pencil sketch of how I kind of want this to look. And you guys may or may not be able to see this through Facebook, but I sort of have a little scripted header that I kind of sketched out, and then I put this little heart. And I've divided it up into columns, and I'll show you why I did that. So I have my colored markers here. And I've kind of created a little bit of a color palette for myself. I had 10 colors that I picked from my Tombow Twin Tones. I think I had a handful that I left out of this color palette. But I picked 10 colors and kind of put them in a little bit of a rainbow order. You know, a rough rainbow order. My artistic interpretation of what the rainbow would look like if it weren't strict Roy G. Biv. But, and then I labeled each of these colors 1 through 10. Because I want to make sure that I keep them in order. If I don't finish this spread today, then I want to be able to come back and keep my colors in order. So I've got them all laid out here in color order. So I've got 5 and 5. And then I've divided my heart into 10 columns. So as I'm drawing or working on the ink within this heart, I'm going to make sure that I'm using the color that corresponds to that column, even if I have to switch mid-word. So it should create kind of a cool gradient effect, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to go ahead and outline my header and get that finished, and then you guys are going to help me come up with some fun self-care words. And what I thought we would do is I'm going to put negative words or things that impact me negatively on the outside of the heart. And then on the inside, I'm going to use positive words and things that actually contribute to good self-care. And we'll use those in the rainbow colors. So then at the end, we can erase all this pencil and we'll have this beautiful rainbow heart that pops out from within all of our doodles and text that we've put on the page. Sounds like fun, right? Okay, so Esther is asking, why is it called a Dutch door? She's from the Netherlands, so she's Dutch, and she has no clue. So Esther, I think this comes from the old Dutch farm doors, and the original journaling Dutch door, people would actually cut off the top half of the door of like the page, and they would make this little half page for planning, and then it looked sort of like those like half doors and from like the old school Dutch farms. But then this term for a vertical Dutch door sort of came out, and I know I've used it just because I didn't know what else to call it, and I know Christina Star 77, she used it too. And I think it's just because we didn't know what else to call it. But then someone said, hey, the saloon door, that's what you guys should call it. I am all on board with the saloon door. This to me looks a lot more like an Old West saloon door than it does like any kind of Dutch door. Because let's face it, the Dutch door, even then, the farm door it went horizontally. So anyway, that's what that is. So I wanted to answer her question before we moved on. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with the header. And I sort of did like an open script here. And it's very difficult for me to do that in pen off the bat. So I went ahead and sketched it in pencil first. And then I'm going to go ahead and outline it in ink. And then we can color it in if we want to. So we'll go ahead and start with that. So I know some of you guys might be new to these live videos. I started them in November when we were doing Planvember, and we were setting up journals for the new year. And then I just had so much fun with them that we just kind of kept it going after the new year. And so every Thursday I do these. And I think it's a really fun way just to do a journal meetup when, you know, especially if you live in an area where you may not be able to connect with a lot of other people who journal. This is a really fun community way to do it. So I've had a lot of fun with it. And I always learn something new. And I think you guys always learn something new, so it ends up being a really positive thing. I know I have been meaning to do a journal meetup in the Oklahoma City area, and I never know how many people are in our area. I always wonder, like, is it just going to be me and like my one friend who journals? But, you know, that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. That would still be fun, right? So if you guys know anybody who lives in the Oklahoma City area who journals, spread the word. Let them know they should contact me and say, I'd be there. All right. Although pretty soon I'm going to be moving to Japan, and then those journal meetups would be a lot harder, wouldn't they? All right. So, and I kind of put these little hearts in my header just for fun. Because self-care, self-love, a lot of those terms kind of go hand in hand. You'll hear a lot of people talk about self-love and self-care interchangeably. All right. And you don't have to necessarily do fancy headers if you don't want to. I think most people understand that by now. But still, every now and then we get people who may be new to journaling and they feel a lot of pressure to make these really fancy headers, and my philosophy is to only do something fancy if you feel like being fancy. You know, if you feel like being artistic. You know, otherwise you're just dressing up with no place to go, and that's just silly. But if you feel like doing it, and you have fun with it, and it enhances your journaling experience, then go for it. There's no rule against it, and there's no rule that you have to do it. All right, just gonna keep going here. By the way, guys, I'm not a lettering artist at all. I have high hopes to improve my lettering skills just because that's become a really big part of our community, I think. But I don't fancy myself a lettering artist at all. So take my little wiggles and squiggles for what they are. This is just me having fun. Although, I am teaming up with some other bloggers, and we're starting a new Instagram challenge that's going to be more lettering focused, because I think all of us are in that same boat that we really want to improve our lettering, and we thought it would be a fun way to kind of do a new challenge. So I'll let you guys know more about that when I find out. Okay, so we've got our little header. We can color this in, and I'm thinking I'm going to wait and color it at the end once I've seen how our page turns out. So, all right, let's get started. So I see Elizabeth said hashtag pencil first. That's right, guys. Sometimes you just have to use the pencil. There's no law against it. It's all right. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm in column number 1, and if you want, you can number your columns to kind of keep track of your colors. Like I said, I numbered them on my color card here. And so this may help you just to, you know, keep track of where your colors are. because you'll have to switch at some point. You may have to switch mid word or whatever. So we'll start putting some positive words in here. Let's start positive, because I think starting positive is always a good place to start. So let's do some good positive words. So go ahead and in the comments below, just go ahead and, oops, I turned off my comments. All right, there you guys are. All right, so in the comments below, go ahead and drop me some positive terms that really, for you guys, say self-care. You know, that when you think of self-care, these are the things that pop into your mind, and things that have a positive impact in your life. I would love to hear how you guys incorporate it into your life. I'm just going to finish up some of these, this lettering that I started. And I meant to have some little loopy overlaps. I didn't quite finish them. Okay. All right. Here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and start with attitude. I think a positive attitude goes a long way towards taking care of yourself. I'm just going to kind of get the words in here all crooked. I'm not going to necessarily do them straight. Okay, so now I hit the line between 1 and 2, so I need to switch to color number 2. Okay, so this is not a spread that you would want to do when you're in a hurry or you're trying to do some planning. This is the one that you do at night when you're watching TV and you're just having fun. That's when you kind of bust out this page. So let's just start on the left hand side for right now. So I only have 5 colors that I have to worry about, and I'm not going to get confused with any of these colors, and we'll work on the right side later. So I'm just going to stay on the left side of the page. Light a candle. I like that. So I'm just going to shorten it to candle. Setting the right mood can be really important for self-care, can't it? Okay. Yep, that was the wrong color. Ah! I already did it. That's okay. This was color number 3, so I'm just going to go over it in orange. Whoops. That's okay. I have a feeling that those little mistakes won't even show up when we're all done, because there are going to be so many colors on this page that it won't even matter. I fixed it. See, I got to keep them in order. You guys can learn from my mistakes. That's basically what I do. I come here and I show you guys what not to do. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the caps off for now, because these are all right. A candle, and let's do, here, let me do this. I'm going to draw a little. So I just divided these in 2, so then I know that these go on the right page. Oops, these go on the right page, and these go on the left page. So I just went ahead and did that. Drew a line between them. That'll help me. A little visual cue. All right, so a candle, a shower. I love that. Read a book. Okay. Oh, cuddle my cat. I love that. So let's do, we'll do cat here in green. And I'm going to actually do kitty cat above it. I have a kitty cat. She's very fat. I talk about her a lot on here, Tasha. She's my fat cat, and I love her. We go way back. I've had her for a long time. Let's do a shower. And then in the middle of my W, I'm going to switch to this green. And you can kind of play around with your lettering style if you want to. I'm kind of keeping it simple only because there's going to be a lot of color already in this area. So I feel like I probably won't need as much stylized text as I would if there weren't as much color. So read a book. So we'll do, let's see, this color. I'm going to switch to orange. Read a, here we go. So there's a little bit of marker juggling that you have to do here, pen juggling, but it can be, I think it's actually a lot of fun. And then at the end we can kind of fill in with some cool doodles, and those can kind of cross over those color lines as well, which is going to be a lot of fun. Chocolate, tea. Oh, you guys are my kind of people. I love it. Chocolate. Chocolate. good. You guys are all about tea, which I love as well. All right. Give me another one. Your favorite craft. So draw or whatever your yeah, so we'll just write craft. We'll do craft or create. How about create? Let's do create. That's something that we all sort of understand, I think. So now that I actually have my colors sort of established on the page, I don't actually have to look at this card quite as much because now I can actually see where my colors are going, which is nice. So I've got that. Oh, a fire, a cozy fire. So let's do that. Let's start that one with yellow. A cozy fire. Okay, let's come up with another one. A hammock, music. I'm gonna do lounge. Let's do lounge, because then if you don't have a hammock, you can lounge in your favorite chair or your couch. Okay, switch to yellow here. Okay, there's lounge. Boy, but a hammock does sound good. Dawn, now you're making me want a hammock. Music, that's a good one. Music, let me see if I missed some. A bubble bath. All right, music and bubble bath. Let's do that. All right, let's start music here. And I'm just sort of spreading these around. I'm not really, there's no system here. Okay, music, and we'll do a bubble bath. I'm gonna start that one way over here. Bubble. Bubble bath. Okay, let's go ahead and work on the other side now just to even it out. We can always come back and add more if we need to, but that way you can kind of see how this is going to take shape. And then when we feel like it's full enough of positive terms, then we can go ahead and add some doodles, and that'll really dress it up and make it look like a lot of fun. And they can be doodles that we just sort of put in there to be pretty, or they can be doodles that remind us of all of these wonderful things that we're listing that help us feel more like ourselves. I think that's the biggest thing with self-care, is doing things that help you connect with yourself, feel like yourself, relax, rest, you know, just focus on you for just a little while. That's something that is, as women, we tend to be the worst offenders, especially if you're a mom. Like, you guys know what I'm talking about. We let everything go before ourselves, and before you know it, we're nothing but husks of people, and we're exhausted and burned out, and we can't imagine why. So then it's time to take a step back, take a long bath, take a time out. It's okay to take a time out. Okay, watch a favorite movie. I love that. Okay, so we'll start here with our green. Okay. And I'm going to write that out as movie night. You know what? I love watching movies with my husband, but if you guys are married or have a significant other that you have been with for a long time, I don't know if you guys are like this. I love being with my husband, but some nights I just want to watch a movie all by myself. I want the whole room quiet. You know, I just want to be all alone. Do you guys do that? Or am I just introverting hardcore? All right, deep breathing. Okay, I sort of hit the edge of that one, so I'll finish my E on the other side. Deep breathing. I love that. So I created a really great self-care page in one of my old journals that I used quite a bit, and I'll show you guys that one before we go. And that's sort of where I wanted to do a continuation in this page. But that one was more of a flow chart, you know, thinking about what you were needing. And this one is just more of a celebratory page, and maybe with some reminders in there of, you know, things you can do to take care of yourself, which I love. A heart to heart with a friend. That's a great one. Hi, Schwen's here. You guys, Schwen is from Journaling Sisters. She runs this really awesome journaling self-care group, which this is right up her alley. So she focuses on meditation, and she teaches workshops, and I've taken her workshop, and it's amazing. I've taken her workshop, and it is amazing. I really loved it. So you guys should check her out. It's Journaling Sisters. So, okay, heart to heart with friend. I love that. Let's start that one in purple because I want to get some of that pink in there. Start it in purple, and it's going to move over to this pink side. Heart to heart with a friend. All right. All right. To have all you friends here today. I get to have a heart to heart with you guys. It's a lot more fun in person though, isn't it? When you can like sip your tea together and really catch up on things. So journaling, of course, Elizabeth, journaling. How could we not have said that already? All right, that one's gonna go over into our blue column, journaling. All right, let's see. How about going for a run? I love to run. I don't get nearly enough time for it anymore, and for me it's very meditative. If you don't like to run, then that probably won't be one of your self-care items. That would probably be a self-punishment item, but I really love to run, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that down. Okay, running. How about let's have a healthy snack, like a really good healthy snack. Sometimes that can be really healing when you're having a bad day. So we'll do that. Okay. I think I missed music. Oh no, I put music on here. There it is. I know someone had suggested it, and I want to make sure I didn't forget that one, because music is so important. Okay, a healthy snack. Let's see. How about write a letter? Write to a friend, right? Inco Remo is coming up next month. Have you guys, most of you have probably heard of Inco Remo. But if you haven't, Inco Remo is kind of a nod to NaNoWriMo. Well, not kind of. It's a pretty definite nod to NaNoWriMo. But Inco Remo happens in February, and it's basically, the idea is to write a handwritten letter to somebody every day of the month. And that can be a really fun thing to do, and a way to connect with somebody in a different way that we maybe aren't used to anymore, because we've become so reliant on our electronic ways of communicating. Right, I'm getting confused with my markers now because I'm talking. Okay, write a letter. Okay, write a letter. What else? Okay, time in nature. That's a good one, Dawn. So I'll do... I love to hike too. That's one that I really love. Nature hike. sometimes when you have a letter that like crosses over these lines, that's when it gets the most challenging. But you just work through it. A nature hike. What else do we have that we can do? Somebody probably has said meditate, but I haven't written it down yet, so I'm going to go ahead and write that one down now. I'm going to start that over here in this purple column. I guess we put deep breathing on. I think that's probably where we got our meditate in there, but I'm going to go ahead and write the word meditate, because meditate can mean different things to different people. For some people, it's actually sitting and doing an active meditation exercise. For other people like me, I meditate when I run. That's really when I do my deep thinking. In fact, I always joke that some of my best writing is done when I'm running, but that tends to be where ideas come to me. Okay, so can you guys see what I'm doing? So let me give you a quick shot of how this is turning out. So see, that rainbow effect is sort of already coming, it's already starting to happen. And I'm really liking the way it's looking. Take a nap, CJ says. Yeah, I need a nap every now and then. Actually, I need naps more often than every now and then lately. I feel like lately I need a lot of naps. Okay. So, nap. Let's see what else we can do. How about go to the salon? Go get your hair did, right? That's a good one. All right, so time at the salon. Okay, so I kind of dipped that one down into the bottom of my heart here. And I think I'm going to start doing that a little bit more just to kind of tighten up our little heart design, because we're also going to, in gray, I'm going to put some negative words out here, things that are detrimental to self-care. And so we'll just have that heart popping out. We're going to get rid of those pencil lines, and I really just want that heart to be clear. So how about get a massage? That's a fun one too, right? I love getting a massage. Okay. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, Dawn, I can post something about Inco Remo if you like. I have I think I have 1 or 2 posts on it on the blog, maybe. If you search Inco Remo on the website, you probably can find that. So but yeah, I need to write a post on that pretty quickly because it's coming up. Although if you go to incoremo.org, you can find out about it more there too. So it's Inco Remo, and Re is W-R-I, mo.org. A mani-pedi. Yeah, I'm down with a mani-pedi. It's been a long time since I went for a mani-pedi. You guys are reminding me of all these things I should probably do for myself pretty soon. Mani. Let's go to this. Okay, there's that. Okay, so let's do one more and then we'll start filling in with some doodles. Let's see, spa, scrapbooking for travel. That's a really, yeah. Oh, Schwen says, I love this, Megan. I just got into scrapbooking for travel and totally love this art crafting aspect. Isn't it fun? See, that for me is like, it's part of the whole fun of journaling, is that we can take a break and do some of these more creative pages. A bath, ooh, meditation. Okay, so we've got that. Journaling. I'm trying to make sure that I haven't missed any of your guys' awesome suggestions. Deep breathing. Okay, I think we got most of them. If I missed anything important, please feel free to shout out at me. So let me think of one more. How about go to dinner? Sometimes it's really nice just to have somebody else cook you dinner, right? Go to dinner. Okay. All right, so now we can start filling in with some fun doodles. And you guys know I'm a pretty big fan of like flowers and botanicals. That tends to be kind of my go-to doodle. So I'm gonna sort of fill in with just some real easy, tiny little flower. And yeah, little plant doodles. These are always fun. And I know you guys love watching me draw for some reason. That tends to be the feedback I get all the time is, we just want to watch you draw. Can we just watch you draw? Which is funny because I don't think of myself as an artist at all. They're really just doodles. But I think probably I mean, I know how it is. I like watching other people draw too. It's fun to watch something take shape when you're not the one doing it. Okay, so I'll do a few more of these and then we'll switch to something else. And I'm going to do the same thing with these. Every time I cross over that color line, I'm going to switch to the next pen just to keep my colors consistent. Okay, let's do an orange one. And just so you guys know, I'm using the thick side of my Tombow Twin Tones. I'm not using the thin side right now. You could definitely use the thin side if you wanted to go for a more delicate look. That's really just up to you and the aesthetic that you prefer on your journaling pages. The fine side of these is really fine. Like it's finer than, if any of you have the Staedtler fine liners, these are just a little bit finer than those on the fine side. Even they're advertised as being the same, but they're just slightly thinner, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It actually can be really good. It's just for this particular page, that's not really the look I'm going for. But you definitely could do one that's very lacy and delicate, and it would be really pretty. Okay, so let's do some cool little flowers. I'll do just like a little simple daisy. Those are always easy. Most people can handle a little daisy here and there. Okay, and over here I'll do one right in between here in two different colors. Okay, switch to my next marker. Where is it? I got my markers out of order. Okay, move this one back over here. Okay, there's that. All right. Let's do a few more of these. Okay, and that one's gonna have to end up with purple. All right, let's just do some cool scrolls, just kind of scrolling around here. That can be kind of fun too. So, okay, let me just adjust my markers and put them back in order because I've let myself get crazy again. All right, because I get things out of order and I get excited and I start throwing markers around. All right, here we go. All right, we're good. So let's do some cool little scrolls here. Scrolls are always fun. Like that for me is one of the most, it's one of the most relaxing things to draw just because they don't have to have any kind of order to them. There's no rhyme or reason. They just sort of flow across the page. And that can be a lot of fun. All right. Let's get one going around here. And these are kind of where you can really start to fill in your heart just with, to kind of start to make it look really full. Over to blue here. All right, So I think you guys kind of get the idea on this. We may have to do this as a two-parter, and we may come back next week to kind of finish up this page, only because I know that some of you probably have things you have to get done. And I would sit here and journal with you all day if I could. Okay. Let's do one more going this way. We'll fade that into this kind of turquoise blue. Okay. So see how that's coming together? How you can see how that works out? So then it just kind of gives this gradual rainbow effect as it moves across the page. And the more you fill that in with doodles, the more clear that effect is going to be. So, so we'll kind of keep going with that. Let's see, what time is it? Let me see what time it is, guys. Okay, it is 11. We've got a little bit of time left. We'll stop here at 11:30. So 11:30 my time. That's U.S. Central Time if you're just joining us. So we've got a little bit more time. Oops, see, I grabbed the wrong color. That's all right. We'll just go with it. And I'll just kind of fill it in with some blue and try to make it look not so obvious. All right, and then we'll come over here and do some green. All right. Okay, that's all right. It doesn't look too bad. Let's see. Let's do some leaves. I'm gonna do a leaf or two in here. That's kind of cool. A leaf here. That's kind of cool. There's that. Right. We'll do some over on this side too. You don't want to forget about the other side of the page. You guys see this? Are you still on? Still on the... Oh, so CJ asked if the breaks are straight up and down or curved like the heart. Do you mean the breaks in the color, like the columns? So what I did was I sketched a heart, and then I divided it with vertical columns, and I created 5 columns on each side of the heart. Oops, I'm sorry, I'm not centered here. I created 5 columns on each side of the heart going straight up and down. So that way the gradient kind of moves across. You definitely could, if you wanted, start, your number 1 color on the inside of the heart and have it radiate outward. You could have it follow the curves of the heart. It's really up to you. That's just sort of an artistic choice that you'll have to make. Let's see if I missed any other questions that people are asking. Okay, I think that's it that I've missed. Okay, good. Dawn found Inco Remo. Good. So if you guys are wondering about that, my P.O. box is on the website. So if you are, which is, by the way, I probably should have mentioned this, but the website is pageflutter.com, pageflutter.com. And if you are participating in Inco Remo and you would like to send me a letter, you can send it to my P.O. box, and I try to write back to everybody eventually. Even if I can't necessarily get to everybody before the end of February, I try to answer them all eventually. So, yeah, feel free to send me a letter if you are doing Inco Remo. That can be a lot of fun, and I got some of my friends into it a couple years ago, and we all had fun exchanging letters. It was just a different way to get to know each other. It's just a different way of communicating, and it's just one of those lost arts that people really used to send a lot of letters, and penmanship, and how to compose a letter and things like that were very important. And it seems like we're losing some of that, which is pretty sad actually, because it's a really fun way to communicate. And it has that benefit of you know, being delayed, not being instantaneous, which that kind of helps extend the experience a little bit, I think. You know, you don't just fire something off like you do an email without a lot of thought. You know, you really put thought into it because you know that this person is waiting patiently for the words that you're going to send them. And that's, to me, is something really special. Okay. You know, we try to send letters every now and then with my kids. We try to get them into writing actual letters. And this is a really fun way to do that. And on the Inko Remo website, sometimes there are really cool celebrities that are participating, and, you know, that's always fun to kind of get into. Who knows if they actually have time to write back to everybody who would write to them, but it's still kind of fun to think that, you know, it's something that's important to them too. All right. Guys, this is coming together pretty nicely. I'm happy with the way it's turning out. All right, I think I want to do a little bit of an orange scroll coming off here. There we go. All right, so let's take a break there for now. But this is kind of what it's looking like. Let me zoom out a little bit. So what do you guys think? Do you think, should I color these in as a rainbow, or should I just pick one of the colors as a highlight to kind of, I think that maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll color the hearts pink, and then I'll color this part blue, and that would kind of create a little bit of a different effect. I could, for that matter, just fill it in as black or fill it in as gray, but, or follow the rainbow. I could extend these columns and just keep that color going across the page, and then fill everything else in as gray of all the things that I want to avoid, to things that detract from my self-care. So that can be kind of fun. What do you guys think? You guys want this black? You want this gray? You want this to follow the rainbow? I'm gonna let you guys decide that for me while I'm figuring out what else I want to fill in some of these spaces with. I think we'll do just kind of some fun little dashed embellishments. So let's do that. What I mean by that is sometimes these little guys, just little, like these little, they're just like little kind of splash marks, I guess. They just look like they could be little splashes of water or something. Sometimes those add so much fun to a page. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can get some in a cool place. There we go. So see, like up here where I've done this one, where I just sort of added these little splash marks right here. So, and those just kind of, it's just a little bit of fun, something fun. But you can do whatever you want. I mean, doodling is one of those things that, you know, you shouldn't ever really copy somebody else's doodle style. Doodling is supposed to be, you know, kind of, I think my camera has been like moving a little bit on me. It's been moving. So I keep having to adjust where, so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Anyway, so yeah, you know, just kind of doodle off the cuff and let it come naturally. Let it be spontaneous. That's half the fun. All right, I've gotten my markers out of order again, guys. Okay. Anyway, I'm really happy with the way this is turning out. I think this is going to be a fun page to flip through and see this page that we created together in my journal. Okay, let's do some of these. Let's do some more. Some up here. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Do any of you guys watch Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David? Oh my gosh, that show just cracks me up. It's really inappropriate. I will warn you right now. It's incredibly inappropriate. every joke in it is kind of offensive. And maybe that's part of what makes it so funny. But anyway, if you don't know, Larry David was one of the writers for Seinfeld, and he's hilarious. He just has a wonderful sense of humor. My husband watches that show, and he got me into it. He always finds these really funny shows. I married a funny guy. He keeps me laughing, keeps things lighthearted, which I love. That's so important, isn't it? Okay, all right. I think I missed some cool little scrolls right through here. Anyway, the trouble with a page like this is you can keep going on forever and ever and ever because it's never really finished, right? Like you just want to keep going. Okay, but I am going to stop now. I'm going to stop there and I'll let you guys see what we've done so far. So that's kind of how that's turning out. And then when everything is done, we can erase all the pencil lines, and we'll have all of these gray things on the outside that we want to avoid and all these rainbow things on the inside that we want to embrace and have more of in our lives. So that's it. Yeah, Dawn says she watches Curb Your Enthusiasm. She knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, Dawn, I can post this to Instagram. I think I'll wait till it's all finished to post it to Instagram. So let's pick this up next week, and we'll do all the things that we want to cut out of our lives. And you guys can help me think about that over the next week of all the things that we want to eliminate from our lives in order to enhance our self-care. And we'll put those on the outside in gray, and then we'll finish this up by coloring the header and erasing all the pencil, and then you guys will see the final product. So let's pick this up next week, and I will post it to Instagram then. Between now and next week, a bunch of things are going to be coming out on the blog. So tomorrow's the last day to enter the Beyond Bullets, the book giveaway for my book. Let me grab a copy. Of course, I have a whole stack, and I put them on the other side of the room. But so there are 5 copies being given away on the website this week. So tomorrow's the last day. Tomorrow by noon. Pretty sure it ends at noon. I'd have to check the website. But tomorrow, so make sure you head over to the website and enter the giveaway if you want one of the 5 signed copies that I'm giving away. So tomorrow's the last day for that. There's also going to be the new prompts for the, here, let me talk to you guys instead of letting you talk to my journal. So tomorrow's going to be the last day for the giveaway. What else am I forgetting? Within the next couple days, the new prompts for the February 6-word story challenge on Instagram, those are going to be coming out. And then watch for this new challenge, the hand lettering challenge that I teamed up with Nittany Bujo and Sheena of the Journal and oh gosh, the Zen of Planning and a whole bunch of other bloggers. I think there are 5 of us. So just watch for that. I'm not sure the final name of the challenge yet. We're still kind of working out some of the details, but that should be coming up within the next few days. Hopefully we'll get to announce that and finalize it for you guys so that you can participate in that with us. But and also, before I forget, since February is coming up, and there's so many fun things going on in February. February 1st is Harry Potter book night. If any of you guys are fellow Harry Potter fans, the whole month is Inco Remo, and of course Valentine's Day is coming up. So I put some really fun hand-lettered, hand-drawn, printable Valentines on the website, which you can use for whatever purpose you want. If you're sending things out to your family or if you're doing Inco Remo, go for it, use them. They're yours to use, but they're up on the website. They're in the vault if you're already a vault member, and if you're not, the post that has the post on the website has all the details for how you can download a copy of those Valentines. That's it. Okay, so I will let you guys go until next week. I'll see you back here on Thursday at 10:30 Central. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good week.